I-bonds have seen a boost in publicity over the past couple of years in response to high inflation, and I think it's great they're getting more attention. However, I-bonds have some powerful benefits beyond just inflation protection that most investors are still unaware of. In this video, I'll share 3 overlooked benefits of I-bonds that you're better off knowing. Let's get started. If we haven't met, my name is Alex Rezzo, and I run Andante Financial, an investment advisory firm where we help people optimize decisions about how to invest their money. If you're not familiar with I-bonds, here's a 30-second overview of how they work. I-bonds are issued by the U.S. Treasury, and their interest rate is updated twice a year for changes in inflation. If inflation rises, you earn higher interest. If inflation falls, you earn lower interest. I-bonds can earn interest for up to 30 years, but you can cash them out much earlier than that. However, you do need to hold an I-bond for at least 12 months, and you'll lose 3 months of interest if you cash out in the first 5 years, which isn't that bad considering you keep the entire principal and the lion's share of your interest. As a general rule, you can only buy up to $10,000 in I-bonds per year per person. However, additional amounts can be purchased under certain circumstances. Those are the basics, but what are the benefits beyond inflation protection that people aren't talking about? Overlooked benefit number 1. I-bonds offer great protection against rising interest rates. Whereas the price of traditional bonds fall when interest rates rise, you don't have to worry about cashing out your I-bonds for less than you pay for them. Why? For traditional bonds, you have to sell them if you want to cash out early. In a sale, you have to compensate the purchaser with a lower price for the fact that they're buying your lower interest rate bond if interest rates have risen. The beauty of I-bonds is you don't sell them when you cash out. You redeem them directly with the U.S. Treasury. This means you get to recoup all of the principal that you originally invested when you decide to exit an I-bond. This feature is very attractive when you consider that rising interest rates are the primary reason that U.S. corporate bonds are down in value more than 10% for the year as we approach the end of 2022. Overlooked benefit number 2, I-bonds have excellent tax advantages. With traditional bonds, you typically pay taxes every year as you earn interest. However, with I-bonds, you get to accrue interest every year, but won't trigger taxes on that interest until you redeem the bond. That offers great tax planning opportunities. For example, high-income earners in high-tax states can be taxed more than 50% on interest from traditional bonds. With an I-bond, high-income earners can wait to redeem their bonds until retirement when their tax bracket may be lower because their taxable income is lower. On top of that, interest from I-bonds is exempt from state taxes. Finally, overlooked benefit number 3. The interest rate on I-bonds is hard to beat in this market. For context, when you compare the interest rates on 2 different bonds, you would expect the bond with the most favorable features to offer a lower interest rate to balance things out. For example, municipal bonds typically offer lower interest rates than corporate bonds, even if they have the same credit rating. This makes sense because municipal bonds have better tax benefits. Their interest is exempt from both federal and state taxes, so their lower interest rate balances things out. So what would we expect for I-bonds compared to corporate bonds? Since I-bonds have better creditworthiness, better protection against inflation, better protection against rising interest rates, and better tax benefits when compared to corporate bonds, we'd expect I-bonds to have a lower interest rate to balance things out. Well, I-bonds right now have a 6.89% interest rate, whereas most investment-grade corporate bonds are offering less than 5%. Like I said, I-bonds are hard to beat right now. If I-bonds are piquing your interest, I've left a link to the Treasury Direct website in the video description so you can learn more about I-bonds and how to purchase them. Finally, if any of the I-bond benefits in this video were news to you, please let me know by clicking the like button. And if you want to see more of this type of content, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on what you need to know for all things personal finance, investing, and retirement. Until next time, thanks for watching.